Do you know what I like to do on Christmas Eve? I like to look at some baseball cards. I had to pull another chair up here. My cat, he likes to sleep on my chair when I'm not sitting here. And he's curled up, passed out. Tried to get him down. Wouldn't wake up. So I just picked the chair up and moved it over and brought another one in here. He never even moved. I've been away for a couple of days. And so my two cats, they won't leave me alone. I guess they missed me. All right, guys. I have a Christmas holiday extravaganza. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to show you. I don't get cards for Christmas, so sports cards. So what I do is I buy myself gifts. I buy myself cards. So I have some of those. I have some things that people have sent me that I'd like to show you, and I'm going to show those intertwined in this mega showing that I have for you. First, I got this T206 Bob Bescher, and he was a leadoff switch hitter, led the league in steals 4 times, runs scored once. In one season, 1911, he had 81 stolen bases, which is still a Cincinnati Reds all-time record. So glad to add a T206. I upgraded this. I have one from my childhood that's not in such great shape, and this is the 72 in action Johnny Bench. And I have a fabulous O-Pee-Chee copy of this, but I just want to pick up a nice sharp Topps copy. And this card is notoriously off-centered. Near impossible to find centered. And I believe the one that I have is centered, but not in very good condition. Sometimes it's nice to have the card like it was. Like when a card is almost always off-centered, sometimes it's nice to have a card the way they came out of the pack. I got this George McGinnis. This is a great card. Fantastic card. Love me some vintage basketball. Got this great post serial, Don Drysdale. And we'll see how this guy does against the Ravens. I don't know. My man Rick tells me he's going to win MVP if he does good. Brock Purdy rookie card. And I got this fantastic. And these aren't expensive at all, but what a fantastic. This is a 1990 police issue of Barry Sanders. A fantastic card. I always loved the police issues. Now, when I was growing up, they gave these away, like cops would hand them out on the corners, and they did that in the city, and I grew up in the country, so I never had access to these. So I always had to get mine secondhand. But this is a great one. I have the one from his rookie year. I consider it a rookie card. Got a graded copy of that years ago, but this is a nicer looking card, in my opinion. And this is a card you don't see very often, and it's such a fabulous card. And it's a 1971 Topps Super Johnny Bench. They made these 2 years, 70 and 71. They're easy to tell apart because the backs look exactly like the regular cards. So a quick flip over will tell you if it's a 70 or 71. And I got this fantastic Don Drysdale postcard. I had never seen one before. And I have the Yogi Berra from this set, and I found this, and I don't know, love these vintage relics. I got this Phil Rizzuto. I already had this card, but it is so sharp, and You know, these vintage cards have gotten so cheap. I had to grab this one. Rocky Calavito, 59. Beautiful example of the card. I have a relatively high grade set here. A lot of higher graded cards from my childhood. So, nice to add another one of those. All right. So, I got a care package. I got a card from your best friend, Scott at Reindeer Studios. Made this look like the old 52 Wheaties. Nice card from him with some of his cards. And I have a side collection of these cards. I save all these separately, so I have a nice little stack going now. Scott, thank you so much. These might be worth more than a Picasso someday. Looking forward to staying with Scott and a lot of other guys at the Cleveland National. Got a nice big Airbnb. Play some wiffle ball, home run derby out back. All right, what else did I get? I picked up a copy of this Beckett Baseball Card Monthly just for nostalgia purposes. This is a classic with Bo Jackson on the cover. They got a great image of Tim Raines on the back. Let's see here. I got a Coco Gauff. Great card. Love it so much I got two. Got Giannis here. Got a few of his. Got a Got Game. And I love these Jam Masters. They remind me of the 1938 Gaudy cards. If you take a close look. And the seller threw in this. And this card from 88. One of the All-Star cards. And I don't have this for my set, so I'm really glad. Now, I got a fantastic care package and card from my man Paul. Fast Breaks and Breakfast. He and his daughter are awesome. And he sent me this. And I don't know, this is from Topps Vault. I'm not familiar with these, but this is a Bill Mazeroski autograph card here. And it is fabulous. Never saw one of these. Paul, I want to thank you so much for this care package. And he sent me this. This is a 46, 47 Carmelo Deportivo Cuban card. Lou Klein. He played in the majors. So one of the few players in this set that played in the majors. Very generous. Love this set. Love all Cuban cards. And he sent me this autograph, Dave Parker. Paul, thank you so much. Too generous. All right, I got a Evan Longoria prospect card. And a rookie card. And you know, the awesome thing about this is I don't have to check with Victor. There's a nice big RC up there, so I know it's a rookie card. I got a few CD Lambs. Got this clear. I showed one of these the other day, but I got a second one. This one's cleaner. And I love this card. And I got a Tua. got a Tops Now traded Juan Soto. Have the Otani coming too. And CJ Stroud rookie card. This is a cool card. I like that young man. And I got a Jalen Warren. Not a card you see too often. And I got some Minka Fitzpatricks here. I love this one. And I got this die cut. Red, white, and blue. Is it red, white, and blue or red, silver, and blue? All right, now to a special care package that I got. This is really special to me. From a subscriber, Anthony. And he sent me a nice note. So I guess his uncle passed away, and he has inherited his stuff, or he's going through his stuff, and his uncle was Gary, known as the Uncle Gary Collection, and he wanted me to have some pieces from it. And I cherish these kinds of things. When I have my museum, I will do displays together because I love to obtain and curate people's collections that they had and cherished. And this is so cool. So he sent me a real nice letter. I saved these things. Before I go further, I have a whole bunch of these, and these are just some of them. And so this is from Reindeer Studios last year. Some cards that he sent me, Scott. And this was a note I got when I purchased a card from Beverly Hills Card Shop. It sent me a note saying they were a fan of my channel. And Liam, Junior Baseball Fanatic, sent me this because I went to Steve Blass's baseball camp. Nice letter. Ground Chuck. And I saved these together with notes and, you know, the card they sent, if it wasn't a big pile of them, or maybe I'll just pick one to represent. And then I have a number of just letters and notes, and I have a whole secondary collection of these things. I really cherish them, and it brings back memories when I look through them, and the generosity of this community. And I don't know, it's just so special. And around this time of the year, it's fun to kind of reflect on those kinds of things. So back to the Uncle Gary collection. He sent me a number of things. All great stuff. So when Willie Stargell got into the Hall of Fame, he sent me this magazine. And on the back is Clemente. All kind of stuff inside, including images of baseball cards. Part of the Uncle Gary collection. And he sent me two. And I remember getting these at the stadiums when I was little. And these are awesome, and I don't have any. And they are the All-Star ballots. One from 77 and one from 79. And kind of special because, Willie Stargell shared the MVP with Keith Hernandez in 79. Of course, the Pirates won the World Series that year. And 77, Frank Tavares led the league in stolen bases. That was a nice year. So kind of cool to get these. Love this kind of stuff. He sent me some postcards. This is Williamsport Little League World Series Stadium. An old Three Rivers Stadium postcard. And a Pirates Spring Training Stadium postcard in Bradenton, Florida, which I was at once. He also sent me a pile of Pirates cards, and one is an exceptional copy of the Dave Parker rookie card. And let me tell you, you can't have too many Dave Parker rookie cards. And they need to let him in the Hall of Fame. Rod Carew recently came out and is advocating for him. And these writers sometimes, I get the impression, because they didn't like Dave Parker, that they won't let him in until after he passes. And I think that that's horrible. They did that to Minnie Minoso. They did it to Gil Hodges. They did it to Buck O'Neill. And I don't know why they don't want to let these guys in while they can enjoy it. I think it's inevitable he gets in. But we shall see. But a great one. This 74 Pirates autograph card. Facsimile, of course. This great Pirates sticker. And I never saw this one before. And I have a little collection of these. And I do not have this. This is great. The Bill Mazeroski embossed. Elroy face. And this is Don Shaw. 64. And my man Smokey Burgess. Always loved this card. Bob Prince, the old announcer, said he could hit in bed. And he sent me some discs, and some of these I didn't have represented. And that is the Town Club. I wasn't familiar with Town Club. I never saw these before. Town Club Pop Centers. So we have John Candelaria. I believe these are from 76. And if that's the case, that would be a rookie disc. Al Oliver. Doc Medich. I believe there were 2 times where he had to revive people in the stands. He had gone to medical school, and he was kicked out, I believe, for misuse of prescription drugs or something like that. So he was actually kind of a doctor going to medical school. And Rennie Stennett. Of course, he holds the record for most hits in a game. Manny Sanguillen, love me some Manny. These are Isley's discs now. Oh, I have one more Town Club, and that's Jerry Royce. Good pitcher. Went on to the Dodgers and was a good pitcher for them, too. I think he was an all-star as both the Pirate and a Dodger, if I'm not mistaken. Richie Zisk. Loved Richie Zisk. Part of the lumber company of the mid-70s. Willie Stargell. And the aforementioned Dave Parker. A young Dave Parker there. And he sent me this set, and these are just fabulous. This is one of my favorite great sets. And because they look vintage. They're from 1976, and they're Shakey's Pizza. And it's most of your great players. Always loved this DiMaggio card. And I'm so glad to get this because I was thinking about upgrading mine. Mine's a little faded. I got it years ago. And this is a nicer copy. I'm so glad to get that. So I will keep this little Uncle Gary's collection together. Never want to separate a guy's collection. I don't know what will eventually happen to my collection. I hope it's in a museum, my own. But it'd be kind of sad to see it all auctioned off or something. Let the buzzards come down. Send everything off to grading. Put it up for auction. Have a bunch of people take a piece of the action. All right, and then I wanted to show you, on my last video I showed you I got the Tango Eggs set, a scarce card. And I do have the goal of trying for the rest of my life to obtain at least one card from every vintage baseball card set. I decided I'd probably do through the 80s, since I probably have all the 80s sets anyway. So I just thought I would take some out on this holiday season for something that I'm grateful for, and show you some more obscure sets. Maybe they're not all obscure, but some of them are. And I just picked one card from each set. Some are less obscure, some are more obscure. Oh, I have, I guess I have the Tango Eggs here that I showed. Buck Weaver with a Joe Tinker image. Here we have 1911 and 1912. 11 or 12, I think it's 12. Imperial Tobacco Iron Joe McGinnity. These were issued in Canada. Kind of minor league cards. There are a few big names in it. I have the Chick Gandil. Bill Epstein for my Pirates is in it. And the other big one is Joe Kelly. And this is from 1915. I know my man Decon just showed this recently. I always loved this. This is a Cuban issue. Cecina. And it depicts Tris Speaker. And doing a little research, my man Rick over at Oddball Cards did some research. He loves old photos, as you probably know, collects those. And this was from some sort of a, it was, I don't know, some sort of a charity all-star game kind of thing, where they wore these uniforms. I think they played in South America against South American teams. This is an obscure, rare Walter Johnson. When you see the UNC, that just means it was uncatalogued, right? So when Jefferson Burdick did his catalog, a lot of these cards were missed. They were not cataloged. So that's all that means. There were various strip cards cut off of candy boxes and those types of things. And a lot of them, I don't think we truly know where they come from. Not an obscure set, but a cool set, and that is the Sporting Life. Here's a Cy Young. And at my first National 2 years ago, Rick and I picked up the envelopes to go with these. Really cool. They would, I guess, put the card in the envelope and insert it into their publication. And it's kind of this is a quirky set. I know back in the day they didn't go for very much, but they've gone way up in value. And I don't think back in the day they realized how rare these are. But they're not that easy to find. And that's a Johnny Evers. And this is a super rare set. I'm so glad to own one of these. The E107 super rare set. That's what they look like on the back. And this is Sox Seabold. His family moved when he was young to Jeanette, PA, where my dad, my grandmother, my family's from. And he died in a car accident on Route 30 in Greensburg, where I'm from, which is right next to Jeanette. So having, when I try to pick a represented card for each set, I go with ones that are unique, like the Buck Weaver with the Joe Tinker image. This guy who has a connection to my hometown also is responsible for bringing Joe Jackson, shoeless Joe Jackson, back to Philadelphia at the end of his career. I've told that story many times. Awesome story. So I picked them based on either a player I don't have that has a nice story, and he doesn't have very many cards at all, or just love the image. But you have to. I try to be careful if I'm only going to have one from each set, and many times I have multiple. But I kind of take it special which one I'll get. The Ramley Chief Bender. He drank so much that they put a non-drinking clause in his contract. It's a beautiful card. Ramleys are tough and can be pricey. This card is more rare than his T206 that everyone knows about. It's far more rare. Probably half as many, maybe less than that. And that is the 1910 W555 Hannes Wagner. I believe with the pop reports and assuming there are still raw ones, probably say there's less than 30 of these, maybe less than 25 or 20. I think there's around 16 graded. This is the second highest graded one, but I've seen the highest graded. It's a 6, and I have to be honest, this is way nicer. The 6 has some little thing over his face, which drives me crazy. This is Juju Drums. Very rare set. Donnie Bush was a fantastic, one of the best defensive shortstops of the time. Very rare these are. And I love the little discs. I'm collecting the Colgan's Chips set. And this Nap Lajoie, this Bruner's Bread. Another rare set. And all these cards I'm showing are just from the early 1900s. When we get into the 20s and 30s, oh my God, the sets I have that are rare, obscure. This is a 1910 Orange Border, Ty Cobb. Cut off of a candy box. They're called Orange Borders because this one's cut a little tight. Thus the grade. But most of them have the orange border in. Well, most of them don't have the orange border intact, but if you have the full card, there is an orange border around it, and that's where it gets its name. Although most of the ones I've ever seen either have just a little bit of remnants of that orange, or they're cut more tightly like this. Dave at Blue Jacket 66 has an amazing copy of this card with the border still intact. It may be the only one in existence, I don't know. But this is a very rare card. And all the orange borders are. And one of my dream cards, I was so excited to get this Home Run Baker. Another tough set. These are coupons, T213 coupons. A lot of people can confuse them with T206s. These are much more rare. This is the Johnny Evers. They're thinner than the T206s. Really, you're not going to find these in higher grade. I've never seen one in as high of grade as you can find the T206s because of the thinness. They usually have wrinkling, faint wrinkling. They don't really, on the thinner cards, when there's some wrinkling, like you take the 46 or 47 Carmelo Deportiva, Deportivos, when they're wrinkled, they don't show as much as thicker cards. The 47 Propaganda, same way. They present much better, in my opinion. And this Tip Top bread set, amazing. Very obscure. And these celebrated the world champion Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a Babe Adams, who was rookie star of the 1909 World Series. That was at one time considered one of the best World Series teams. And he was kind of a rookie phenom in that World Series. Became very popular after that. Kind of famous because he shut them down. Ty Cobb went 1 for 11 against him as a rookie. Highest batting average of all time, and he went 1 and 11 against him in the World Series. Have a few of those, of course, because they were Pirates. That's what I have for you. Just want to thank you for all the support. Hope you have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. Merry Christmas. I am looking forward to seeing some relatives I haven't seen in a while and spending a Christmas that I haven't spent with them in a long time. For us Italians, today, Christmas Eve, is bigger than Christmas Day. So I got to get rolling here. We will have a feast both days. You have yourself a great holiday. Thanks for hanging out with me.